This is me, and today I'm going to share with you how we take our Cornish cross hens and then turn them into 10 commonly known parts that you would buy just at a grocery store. I'm going to be using a fish fillet knife today. This is my preferred knife of choice. It gives me a lot of flexibility around the bone, really helps with some nice even cuts, and I just think it has great precision. So I'm going to show you a slow tutorial step by step on how to part a bird. All right, so this should be pretty easy to follow along with. So first off, we're going to take the legs and we're going to cut those off first. So what you want to do is take the skin that connects the leg to the breast and just kind of give that a little bit of a head start by just giving it a little slice. I could have sharpened this knife before starting, but we're just going to roll with this. But definitely you want to actually follow where the thigh attaches to this bone. You're actually just going to follow that line all the way down, and you kind of start up where like the hip is, and then you work down towards the pelvis there, and you just pull that whole chunk off. That is the thigh and the leg, and we will separate that in a little bit, and then we're just going to do the same thing on the other side. And definitely sharpen your knife beforehand. Sometimes the skin can be a little hard to get through. Just kind of depends on the thickness of it and your bird. But it cuts through the meat just fine. So what I'm going to do here is actually show you how you can pop the joint out. You can pop the hip joint out there, and that will give you a nice line indicator on how close to get to the bone. And you can see here I kind of cut behind that hip joint right there, and you really just follow that bone all the way down. Come as close as you can, because you don't want to waste, you don't want to waste any meat. So just really try to get as close as you can. Next up, we're going to separate the leg from the thigh. There's a fat line here, and if you can just locate that and follow it all the way down, you will avoid the joint there. And that is exactly how you do it. Super simple, super easy. Every once in a while, which I'll do here, is you find the fat line and you follow it down, but you can get caught on the bone. And then what you can do is actually just pop the joint. I'll show you that right now. We'll pop the joint. See, just like that, it pops really nice and easy. Then you can get your knife in between the joint and follow it down. So that's if you get caught on it and don't quite follow it properly all the way down. It's super simple to just pop it and follow that. So now we have 4 pieces. We have 2 thighs and 2 legs there. Next up, we're going to move on to the wings. These can be a little tricky because there's a lot of connective tissue in the shoulder. So you just hold the wing up and follow it around. Now, everybody does this a little bit differently. This is how I do it. And I just take my, you can use a boning knife or, a fillet knife like this. And I just very gently get as close as I can to the joint and break all that connective tissue that holds that joint in place. And you will start to see the joint pop out. You can, at any point in time, if you feel like you have enough exposure to the joint, you can give the joint a little pop out, but really you're just kind of cutting around that joint and trying to avoid the breast meat, which is really close. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Just follow it around, starting at the shoulder, and then come underneath. You can see how it kind of tapers there. I have hacked at many birds, so if this is your first time ever parting a bird, do not worry. My first couple looked like it was pretty ridiculous. They were all tore up. But you have to start somewhere. So if you've never parted a bird, just get a bird from the store, or unless you have your own chickens like this and you've raised at home, and just start learning how to part it. Once you do it multiple times, you'll get really good at it. But that's it. I mean, there's the wing for you. Now, I could separate the wings there, but I usually leave my husband to do that. If that's something you want to know how to do, let me know and I can show you. But it's 3 parts there. The wing tip, and that goes, in the garbage or the stock pot. And then there's the 2 pieces of the wing. But we're going to move on to the breast here. I do not leave the skin on the chicken breast. Some people do. I don't. I do my breast a little bit differently than some, chefs. They will cut down the breastplate and cook the breast on the bone. I don't do that. I like to cut our bird like we were to buy it at the grocery store. And so I will pull the skin off, locate the chest plate, and on one side I will take my fillet knife and I will just kind of score down one side, and I will continue to just score as close as I can to the bone, and really just, you can see like the fat line down here, and you can follow the breast all the way down. Now you will notice that the breast separates into 2 pieces. Keep those pieces together. Just follow the bone. I will show you how to separate those pieces properly in just a moment. But if you just continue to go slowly, as close to the bone as possible, and just really become aware of the anatomy of the bird, that will help you to get as close to the bone as possible so you get as much of that breast meat attached to the chicken breast as possible. You can pull some of that connective tissue and extra skin off, and now there's your breast. Now I'm going to show you something really cool. I was so fascinated when I learned this. This is the tenderloin, and it has a natural separation. So if you get close enough to the bone, you will see this piece of chicken just naturally separate when you pull the whole breast off like this. So the tenderloin, it's basically, there's a line already ready for you to cut, and there's your chicken breast and your tenderloin on the side. It is so easy and just really incredibly rewarding. So let's do the other side. We'll get the other breast off, and then I will show you all 10 of these parts here. So once again, we're going to score down the breastplate. And each side of the bird is going to have a slightly different feel because you are coming at it at a different angle. So again, experience will make you much better at this. So don't expect to be perfect the first time you do it. And your knife is going to play a huge role in how easy or how difficult this is as well. So continue to score this down, and you will start to see there is another little bone there, and you can see it better on this side because you kind of catch it a little bit differently, but you just score on the outside of it. So come on the outside of the bone, but as close as possible to that bone. And you'll come all the way down, you'll go through some connective tissue. Definitely cut off any connective tissue that you don't want on your chicken breasts. I try to make this as close to like what we would buy in a grocery store because those are the cuts that we typically will use in our home cooking. Then I have a bucket over here of all the carcasses. Sometimes we'll throw those to the chickens, sometimes I'll make stock with it, but definitely don't throw those away. There is plenty of meat on those. You can make soup with them, do all kinds of things with that. So definitely don't throw that away. Just set it off to the side and use it for whatever. So I cut off the tenderloin the same way I did the other side. And here we have our 10 parts, which is so incredibly easy, you guys. Don't waste money buying your chicken in parts if you don't have to. Buy yourself whole chickens and do it yourself. So here you have your 2 chicken breasts, your 2 tenderloins, your 2 wings, which can be broken up, your 2 legs, and your 2 thighs. And there you have it. Easy peasy, chicken squeezy. Have a wonderful day, guys, and thank you so much for watching.